is that I was a little deceived child of God, me, myself. I was very obsessed with marriage, extremely obsessed. I just wanted to secure the thing, move on, make sure it's the right guy at the right time, the right thing, the right way. Everything must just be right. And so I overly invested my emotions, my time prematurely. I fasted. I did weird stuff. I think I tapped into a little bit of witchcraft. You know how? Let me say how.
Tell us.
I didn't use things. But I know there are children of God doing it here. When I saw a brother and I thought, that one, I'll start to pray. I'll call his name. He said, Father, I claim Michael. Witchcraft. I was fully into witchcraft. Calling his name, praying. And so I was really heavily deceived by Satan because I was pursuing a man, right? Or some kind of man. Something must come. Not understanding the plan, right, that God had. And I got into so much pain. I fell into so much trouble. I dated this guy for like 7 years.
Yo. Grade one.
So dating this guy for 7 years, I was honestly deceived, you guys. And here's what I want to tell the ladies who are actively pursuing this perfect man of God, holy man, what? Is that I prayed, yes, but my emotions were more heightened than my desire for the perfect will of God. And so I started having literally deceptive thoughts deposited in me that if this is the guy, God can't give me anyone else. And so the deception was that then I started off and I believed that God said, no, he's the one. And so I started fasting, praying, looking out for wedding dates. Guys, some of you guys are doing this. 25th of September, 2022. And it didn't happen. And I kept on just asking God, like, so what? Am I not hearing you right, Lord? You see, I got myself into pain because I misunderstood how God works. But you want something from God, but you don't even know the God you want that thing from. And that's where the deception comes and you cause yourself pain. And so there I am. Then I actually start hearing from the Lord. Because I believe even in our season where we are deceived by our own emotions, God tests our hearts. And when you really want God, even though you are in the mess of your own situation, he'll find a way to still communicate the right thing to you. So he says, leave this guy. I say, Satan, you are lying. I say, never. I'm like, no, that's not God. I'm like, 7 years. I'm like, and so what happens is, and community is really important as well. When you are in pain or you are causing yourself deception and you're in pain, the pain is even starting just thinking of leaving what you have created. This mystical reality that's not even there, right? That you need community. You need people to be like, but my sister, something's not right? And so I was like, what? Then my friends started saying to me, maybe sister, we need to pray here. We are not sure. I didn't want to hear it. I was like, God can't lie to me. But it's so dangerous to set up a standard for God when you don't understand his character. And here's the thing that God then taught me, said, even if God might show you a rhema, right, about your word for a direction or insight into your life, it can change. What God says today, he says, no, step off the stage from here. Tomorrow he might say, step off the stage from there. And so I was deceived. And then I left the relationship and I was in so much pain. Because I thought, Lord, you wasted I said, Father, you wasted 7 years of my life. I was fasting for this guy. Guys, I was an intercessor for this brother. I would discern things about him in the spirit. The Lord will tell me about his career, what he wants to do with him. Because the spirit world is open. Just because God is telling you about a man, it doesn't mean he's yours. Cannot a Sangoma tell you something? Sangoma can come and tell you something, but it doesn't mean the spirit is from God. So when you pray for someone, you open yourself to the reality of their spiritual reality. So you start to see things. So I said, Lord, I saw that. I saw this. Lord, this, what? And I was like, Lord, am I crazy? And I was in so much pain, guys. I thought, God, you wasted my time. I'm upset. I have to start learning a new brother. Then, after that, I was like, then I said, Lord, it's fine. I don't want. I said, actually, I've wasted so much of my time. Let me just serve God. Let me work on myself. Because clearly I am desperate. And that desperation opens room for deception. I said, let me leave it. I broke up with this brother. I was crying every day. And that healing process was so beautiful because God then redefined my position as a woman. I want to give you something today as a woman. You position yourself in who God says you are. He will come. Just relax. Just relax. There's so much power in knowing who you are because it brings up your value. It brings up your value. And so I said, it's fine, Jesus, I don't want this anymore. Keep the marriage. But I didn't say I'm like Paul because I'm like, no, I'm not like Paul. I was like, no, I need a man. Sorry, Jesus, sorry. That's my heel, I'm sorry. So after a time of really healing, sorry, I'm finishing. So after a time of healing, really, it took a couple of years just to heal from the relationship. The deception that I took myself through, I had to re-see God the way, who He is as my Father, what He has in store for me, who I am, what marriage really is, what the pursuit of relationship is, what's my value, how do I build myself up and move my eyes from the marriage thing and to God. And I began to serve the Lord and I left all that stuff. Let me tell you something. When you're in position, then these church brothers, they can see. So you need discernment. And so some other church brothers came, but because now I was well built up in the word, even though I was deceived for a short space of time, this other brother, do you know let me tell you what this other kingdom brother said to me, Ish. Oh, there's only girl. He's not here. I'm sure he's not here.
Not here. He's not here.
He said to me, so, okay, I made a mistake. I went to his house. I shouldn't have done that. I went to his house. I thought I was strong. You're not strong. I went to his house. So there we are, nice kingdom brother. We are sitting there, we had something to eat, we were playing a game. It starts to get hot. Yeah, you know that heat that you feel like if I don't do it now, I can't. Like, it was very hot. So the brother comes to, I'm telling you my secrets, ne? He tries to now to kiss me, ne? He tries to kiss me. I also kiss him, sorry. I said sorry, don't worry, this is a long time. So while this is happening, ne? The brother now wants to take all my clothes and stuff. And then he says to me, we complicate this kingdom thing. Hey, Luna. I was like, I take my t-shirt. I'm like, it wasn't off, ne? He was just here trying to. I was like, no way, nah. I was like, never. And that was my awakening to say, not even kingdom men who say that they are pursuing a godly woman. So you must know who you are. Who are you really when no one is watching? So I'm kind of glad I went to his house. I was tested and then I left, obvious, because I was like, no way, it's my brother. And after that, the Lord then began to teach me about discernment. Discerning the fruit in a person. Looking, just because you are pursued, you don't have to say yes. Just because he said, I dreamt about you, you don't have to say yes.
Come on.
And so time went, sorry, I'm complicating things. Then I said, okay, Lord, I don't want anything. Then time went, and the Lord said, inspired in my heart to do a gathering called Single Christians Dinner or whatever. And I was like, yes, Lord. And I was like, yeah, the Lord is calling me to ministry. He's calling me to do His will. I was so excited. And I was like, yes, Lord. And while I'm fasting and praying for this event, the Lord says, you must believe that you will meet your husband at this event. I said, my Father, leave me alone. Because I'm not interested anymore. I was in so much peace, I forgot about that stuff. And so I organized the event, so let me go faster. And then, yes, I believed. And then I went there, and the Lord was just saying that, people will meet their husbands at these events, and I want you to believe, to break that, barrier that you're actually kind of still scared that you will meet the right person. And so that's where I met my husband.